Hi, thank you for clicking on the video. As you can see from the title, that we will be jumping into the MOESHA universe. So before we get started, if you don't like spoilers, jump off of here. Go watch all 6 seasons of MOESHA and then come back here. You gotta go watch all 6 of them because we're kind of jumping into the last 2 with the topic that we're on today. So we're going to be talking about Dorian, kind of like it's a surrounding Dorian. Okay. Now there was a lot of people who did not like Dorian being introduced, and the ones that didn't care about him being introduced usually didn't like that he got discovered as the kid of Frank, right? Personally, I didn't mind it. I thought it was pretty good, storytelling wise, and also just to bring like a fresh perspective in the show. You know, I thought it was decent, and it was done well, and we got some pretty good storylines from Dorian being introduced, right? Unfortunately, that is one of the reasons why Cheryl Lee Ralph left. Like, she didn't fully leave, but she did not like that storyline. I think definitely when, by the time, if they had been able to do season 7, she probably would have found a way to not be there at all, or be there only in like 1 or 2 episodes and not be there at all. But yeah, I didn't like that so many people was trying to act like it was just the worst thing that could have happened, which I just disagree. Um, I will say this though. The story of how Dorian came into existence to begin with is a little muddled, right? Like, so both Frank and Barbara lie. Like, they lie about what happened. And I guess it's from their perspective, but they were keeping some type of information there, out of what they were saying, because it doesn't add up. Okay, mind you, Frank was still married to MOESHA's mama. I don't know what MOESHA's mama name was. I don't know if they ever even told us what MOESHA's real mom name was. I don't know. If they did, I don't remember it. But he was still married to her. And let Frank tell it, she left for a weekend. She left MOESHA with Frank. And then came back and got MOESHA, and they was gone for the summer. Okay? Let Barbara tell it. She just left MOESHA and Frank to fend for themselves. Here's the issue. First and foremost, you were still married to the girl's mom, to MOESHA's mom. So you cheated either way. But I feel like he had to have already had a thing going. I feel like what really happened is he got caught cheating with Barbara, and the mama left. Okay, and she left so upset, so sporadically, from finding out this information, that she had to come back to get MOESHA because she found out her husband was cheating and probably just stormed out. And so that's probably where Barbara gets the whole, oh, she left y'all to fend for yourselves. But in Frank's head, he like, oh no, she just left for a weekend from you. She calmed down. She was trying to, make me understand what it's like to be her. No, I think she caught you cheating, dipped out, realized, hold on, I just left my baby, went back, got her baby, and then left you. And the fact that you didn't care because you had this whirlwind freaking romance with Barbara when she left, to the point that it resulted in y'all having a kid. Somebody lying. There's something that's not being told, And that's not very surprising for Frank, because Dorian being his child in and of itself just shows how much of a hypocrite he is. Now, we all know that Frank Mitchell is the worst TV dad in history. Like, he is the worst father. And honestly, can we be surprised? Like, every Frank I know is a pretty terrible. Like, I don't know a single Frank that's a decent person. Like, and when I see characters named Frank, they are also pretty damn terrible. So I don't know what we expected, right? But it just, I feel like it definitely just 100% showed that hypocrisy. Hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? He was a hypocrite. He was a hypocrite. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. He was a big ass hypocrite. And he was always telling MOESHA what her problem was. She's always this big problem. And we'll get into that later. But like, specifically the fact that you lied. And it's like, it's kind of like what Dee said. Like, how long did you expect your lie to stay a lie? When you brought Dorian in, you knew it was your child when you brought him in the house. How long did you think that you was going to be able to keep that to yourself? And also, if you know you lying about this, why would you invite the aunt that knows the situation, but the same person that tell everybody business? Because when Dorian later on asked MOESHA to help him find his mom, MOESHA just calls that aunt, the same aunt who tells everybody that Dorian is Frank's son. She just calls her and gets the mom name in 2 seconds. Because that woman don't know how to shut up. That means she tells everybody's business and she don't care. So why, first and foremost, why would y'all let her in on what the situation was? And then letting her in on it, okay, but why would you invite her to your house knowing that you got him there? Knowing she don't know that y'all ain't told nobody that this is your child. Ridiculous. Also, his sister, the one who was pretending to be Dorian's mom all them years, she was annoying. Like, I wanted Dee to punch her. Like, Dee, she was like, I'm talking to Frank. And she was like, and I'm talking to you. I wanted Dee to, ooh, because girl, why are you so rude? Like, she really thought she was entitled. And she did the same thing to Barbara when they was doing the graduation thing for Dorian and they found out he was dating that old woman. We'll get to that. And, you know, Barbara, like, I didn't think that she looked too old for him. And she was like, why are you here? Girl, because her son invited her there. Did you forget that she actually gave birth to him? You know what I mean? Like, and then in that moment, now you talking to Dee and Frank? Okay. Pick and choose. But I will say she was correct. Dee did make that situation about her a little bit. It's like, girl, not the time for you to get all up in your feelings, you know. And you kind of did just dip off. And Frank has been just dealing with Dorian and Miles by himself. And he don't know what he doing because he's the worst father in the world. Okay? And you helped him become the worst father in the world. But that's a whole nother video. Okay, so, you know, on the topic of Dorian being with this old woman, she wasn't old. She was like her early 30s, but still too old for him because he was only just 17 or just turning 18. No, he wasn't even 18 yet. He was only 17 when she started messing with him. She knew it was wrong. She was hiding the relationship. They got caught kissing in the freaking studio, and that's when she was like, oh, I have my own house. We don't have to do anything up in this studio. We don't have to hide this because we could just be sneaky in my house. Okay, like, I didn't like that woman. I didn't like her at all. And then she even lied to her friends how old he was. Like, they was like, well, how old is he? And she was like 20. Because she knew if she said 17, they would have been like, you tripping. You're nasty. And honestly, if I, in that moment, find out that you're messing with a kid, we're not friends no more. You're a pervert. I don't want nothing to do with you. Stay away from me. Don't call me. Don't talk to me. Don't look my way. If we see each other in public, you are a ghost, motherfucker. I don't want nothing to do with you, you freaking perv. And I better not catch you by my kids. Like, that's where my mind goes. That's where my mind goes. Immediately, when I hear this boy say, I'm almost 18, and I'm like, almost 18? Oh, girl, we ain't cool no more. Okay? Like, that's done. But no, she knew she was wrong for that, and it's unfortunate because everybody was trying to let Dorian know, like, she not really for you. She's enjoying herself. And Dorian like, oh, I know what I'm doing, blah 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 blah. And then he literally ends up getting heartbroken, and having to crawl back home to his father because if you saw, that there was like a little tiff, and then he tried to go live with his girlfriend, and she said, "You doing too much. You are a child, and I do not feel like taking care of you." like, well, you shouldn't have been doing what you was doing to begin with. That disgusted me. Like, everything about that situation disgusted me, and like, to this day, that actor, like, when I see her, well, when I don't know if I recently saw her in anything, but when I would see her and stuff, I would think about, like, yeah, that's gross. Like, I would still think about that role, like, no. But I don't hold it against her. She was just acting. I hope she wouldn't do something like that in real life. Surely not. I hope. But yeah. So another thing that I want to talk about, like, when it came to that relationship, Frank just was like, so MOESHA told him, the more you try to, like, give pushback, the more he's going to, want to be in a relationship with her. So he took MOESHA's advice and just was like, okay, I'm going to let you do whatever you want to do. Well, the thing about it is, we see that he still has not learned, right? So he went from one extreme to the other. So when he was dealing with MOESHA, he was all overprotective. He never listened. He made situations worse or bigger than what they were. And, ultimately, for some reason, MOESHA thought, like, got to the end decision that she had a good father in her life. Lucky you, because not how I would have seen you. But just because somebody's there doesn't mean that they're doing a good job. And when it came to Dorian, like, he became too lax. Like, it was moments where he was doing the same thing he did to MOESHA, where he was, like, too overbearing. And then the way he was allowing Dee to treat Dorian when Dorian first got there, no, like, he let Dee do too much. But again, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna give them their own video. But like, Dee was treating that boy like crap. There was a whole episode where he was breaking up a fight, and then she do some digging around and find out, yeah, he was just breaking up the fight, but still made him keep going to detention, talking about but he was still involved in the fight. No, being involved in the fight means you was trying to have this altercation with somebody. Breaking up a fight is saying, hey, you two are involved in a fight and I'm stopping you from having a fight. BS. Like, we gonna get to her. But yeah. And then when he wasn't being overbearing, he was being too laxed. Like, he was just like, okay, yeah. And then his views, like, if it was MOESHA with that situation, like, if MOESHA was 16 or 17 dating a 30-year-old man, Frank would have been in prison, okay? Because he was gonna kill somebody. He was gonna fight somebody, okay? But Dorian is, and because he's a boy, you're like, okay, I will take my daughter's advice this time because he's a boy. I feel like that's, like, Frank was so misogynistic, and there were things that he would allow Dorian to do that he would not have let MOESHA do. So, like, he just never got the understanding of how to even deal with a kid, which is crazy to me because we literally come into the series with MOESHA being a teenager. The fact that you're dealing with another teenager and you still have no clue what you're doing is ridiculous. Like, and I totally understood Dorian being upset and not feeling like accepted and like he belonged, and Frank wasn't making it any better by how he was reacting, because you're already like, oh well, I'm just gonna write you off as this bad seed, and then you only want to try and fix it once your bull crap comes spilling out of the woodwork. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't really have that much to say about this. This is pretty much it. That's pretty much all that I wanted to say pertaining to Dorian. I know it wasn't exactly about Dorian, but it was on the premise of the storyline of Dorian. There is so many other MOESHA videos that I wanted to do. I guess I just wanted to get this particular topic out of the way because the other ones are a little bit bigger and like link more than just a couple episodes together. So yeah, if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe to the channel, and just stay tuned for more, because there's so much more on the way, and I look forward to getting to discuss even more topics. Until next time.